There we go. Hello, sweeties. Today, I'm going to make a trailer breakdown / theory video of what I think is going to happen in the new episodes of Doctor Who. A little bit over a month ago, we were given all 8 episode names and a new trailer. So I'm going to piece them together to see if I can figure out what is going to happen in each episode. Now, what I say, it may be right, it may be wrong. I don't know. We'll have to wait. I think 2 more weeks now to see. But in the meantime, this is what I think is going to happen. So in the words of the new Doctor,
ready for this?
Let's get into it. Okay, first up, we'll go over the new characters. Starting off, we'll go over the 15th Doctor, played by Ncuti Gatwa. We got introduced to him during the 60th anniversary with the whole bi-generation thing. I really hope we explore that more, and that would just be an excuse to bring back David Tennant. I don't think no one would complain about that. I mean, he's David Tennant, of course. But back to the 15th Doctor. I think he's going to be the most sassiest Doctor we had yet. I think he's even going to rival the 9th Doctor, and that's saying a lot. But next up, we'll talk about Ruby Sunday. Now, she is their new companion. We met her in last year's Christmas special. We find out that she's an orphan, and she doesn't know who her parents are. So I think that is going to be a lead to what the season's going to be about, is that she's going to try to find her parents all throughout the season, or does she have something timey-wimey with her? Which, knowing Doctor Who, she is. She is going to be more important than she thinks. It always ends up that way. But yeah. So let's go into the first episode. Okay, the first episode is called Space Babies. Now, this episode, I think this is just going to be an introduction to Ruby, what the Tardis can actually do. In the Christmas special, she knows that it can transport to places, and it can travel in time, and everything like that. She knows it's bigger on the inside, just the basic stuff. But I think the Doctor is actually going to show her, what it can actually do and where it can go. In the trailer, we see them looking at dinosaurs. So I think he is gonna, take her and, show her, everything that the TARDIS can do. And then she steps on that butterfly, and then she turns into that weird green alien thing because of the butterfly effect. So I don't know how that's gonna play. I hope that's just a joke that the Doctor's playing, because that's a little weird. We never seen that happen before to anyone, but who knows? And then later on in the episode, we see the Space Babies, where they go to this spaceship that sort of looks like a baby rattle, which that makes sense if they're space babies. But anyways, they're babies and they can talk, and apparently they know what the Doctor is. So I don't know, have they met before? Maybe that's how the Doctor knows how to speak baby. I don't know. I really don't know. But then we have this other character, she's an adult, and I think she's going to be the villain of this, because we don't know why she's on this spaceship. Is she a friend? Is she a foe? I don't know. And then we have this weird looking Demogorgon monster lurking around the spaceship. So is she feeding the babies to that monster? I don't know. That would be interesting though. But yeah. And another thing to go off in this episode, we see the infamous scene of Ruby looking out of a big window and looking at space for the first time. Every companion does it. It's just a thing at this point. And then we see the Doctor and her hugging by the window. I really hope that their relationship stays platonic. I don't think the Doctor needs any romantic love interest right now. With everything going on, he's a new Doctor. I think we should get to know him by himself before we actually get a love interest, if at all. Yeah, because with love interest with the Doctor, it always gets messy, and it gets way, way more painful to see them go when they eventually leave. So yeah, I really hope they stay platonic, but we'll see. Okay, the second episode. Okay, for the second episode, The Devil's Chord. This is gonna be a musical episode that takes place in the 60s, I think. So yeah, it's gonna be a time travel episode, and something to learn about me is that I went through like a 60s, 70s soft rock phase when I was a teenager. So I'm like obsessed with the Beatles, Queen, David Bowie, singers like that. So I'm gonna really enjoy this episode. The only thing I'm worried about with this episode is that it seems like it's gonna be a musical episode. I don't think that musical episodes belong in Doctor Who. But if it's done right, which I'm sure it will be, I trust Russell T Davies with my life. I love every episode that he makes, but I don't know. I'm really struggling with this. Like, I don't know how it's gonna turn out, but I guess it's something we'll just have to watch and see. Like, if they have like a music number in an episode and it makes sense for the plot to move along, sure, go ahead. Like in the episode Daleks in Manhattan, when they have the Tallulah singing You Put the Devil in Me. I love that song. It's an original Doctor Who song. I love that. So if it's like that, yeah, of course, go right ahead. But if it's like a musical number, I don't know about that. Like if it's a musical number to just have a musical number and it doesn't make sense to the plot, I don't know about that. So, I don't know. We'll have to see. But anyways, the big baddie for this episode is played by Jinx Monsoon. She's gonna be like a musical god of some sort. So she's gonna be the baddie of the episode. Doctor Who said that they're gonna explore more of like mythical beings and gods, like with the toy maker in the 60th anniversary. I think that broke down a new wall for Doctor Who, and we're going to be able to explore more mythical beings like gods and stuff like that. So I'm interested to see how that's going to play out. In the trailer, we see like she has like this power to like wrap like actual music around people. Like we see Ruby getting like engulfed in like music notes. So that's going to be really cool to see. And then I don't know how that's going to work out, but yeah, it looks really good. Okay, for episode number 3. Okay, episode 3 is called Boom. In this episode, we see that the Doctor is on like a battlefield of some sort. I don't know, is it like a planet? Is it a war? I don't know. But then like we see him and he steps on a landmine. Doctor, how can you be so stupid? You stepped on a landmine. But then we find out in the trailer that it is an invisible landmine, so okay, I guess I'll give you a pass. But my theory for this episode is that it's gonna be like the Doctor in sort of like a mind palace way, like in Sherlock, you know, like how like you step on the landmine and everything flashes before your eyes, like everything slows down. And you have to have like this thing where, okay, what do I do? Like, does like everything like flash before him? Like, okay, how am I gonna get out of this? Like type situation. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, and then he's like gonna think of like, okay, if I move, this is gonna happen. If I don't move, this is gonna happen. And also, this episode is written by Stephen Moffat. And you know Stephen Moffat, he loves to have bonker episodes. Like, nothing is off the table when he is writing. So, I wouldn't put it past him if he blows up the Doctor for some reason. Like, I wouldn't be surprised at this point. Like, if he wants to blow up the Doctor, go ahead. Just bring him back, please. But anyways, yeah, so this is going to be an interesting episode. Oh, and another thing about this episode is that we have this infamous shot right here. Now, this was in the 60th anniversary trailer all the way back in November. We thought it would be in the 60th anniversary, but no, it was not. So then we thought, okay, maybe it's just a promotional shot of the 15th Doctor, like to show off the new Doctor. But no, No. I am like 95% sure it is gonna be in this episode. Because with all the explosions and everything, it's gonna be in this episode. Trust me. Trust me, bro. Okay, moving on to episode 4. Okay, this episode, 73 yards. We really don't know anything about this episode. Other than, like, in that little snippet right there, they had snow. So there's a few, like, little clips in the trailer saying, with snow in it. So I'm just thinking that's in this episode. And then there's a few clips of the Doctor, like, in, like, a red beanie coming out of the TARDIS. And, like, whenever he's wearing, like, something like that, you know something's gonna happen to the Doctor. So I think this episode is gonna be a Doctor Light episode, and we're gonna have more time with Ruby. And in the background of a few shots, we see, like, there's, like, this figure standing behind Ruby, and we really can't see what they are. I'm assuming it's 73 yards away from her. So that's probably the name of the episode. Like, it's probably going to be, like, something stalking the TARDIS or Ruby or something to do with the Doctor, like, from 73 yards away. So, I don't know. It's going to be an interesting episode. Well, all of these episodes are going to be interesting, but we really don't know nothing about this episode, so we're going into it pretty much blank. So, we'll see. Okay, for number 5. Okay, for number 5, Dot and Bubble. This episode, I think, is going to be a, like, near future episode. It looks like it takes place on Earth. The characters and clips that we get in this trailer, they look humanoid, so I would assume Earth, and it looks like Earth. But the interesting thing about this is that there's a big dome around this city. I don't know how that's going to play out, but I do remember, like, Russell T Davies gave this interview, I think in, like, 2007, saying he scrapped an idea, about having a dome when he saw, like, the Simpsons movie that came out. He thought it was too similar to that. So I think he's gonna revisit that plan that he had in 2007. So we'll see about that. Plus, in this episode, we finally get to see those big slug children eating things that was leaked, I think, in like 22 or something. It's been a long time now. But yeah, I'm excited to see what these slugs really are, because I remember that was like the first like news that we got, like when they started filming, and we were like, what are those? Like, that's a classic Doctor Who monster right there. Like, it's so stupid, but it makes sense for Doctor Who. But yeah, we'll see what this episode brings. Moving on to number 6. Okay, episode 6, Rogue. Now, this episode I am really excited for, because this is gonna be a period piece, and I love period pieces. I love, like, all, like, the 1800 stuff, and, like, the royal balls, and just stuff like that. I love those kinds of episodes. I'm actually rewatching Bridgerton right now, because the 3rd season's coming out in May also. So I'm just catching up on that, and, like, having, like, a little refresher on everything. And plus, Ruby says this.
Oh, this is so Bridgerton.
So, yeah, I'm gonna love this episode. And I can't wait to see what happens. I love to see, like, everyone dressed up in, like, the 1800s, like, royal ball-esque stuff. So, yeah, I can't wait for that. Another thing I'm excited for about this episode is this man right here. He sort of reminds me of someone. Maybe a dashing young time agent? A little character called Captain Jack Harkness, maybe? I really hope that they are not going to replace Captain Jack. You cannot replace Captain Jack Harkness. John Barrowman is the only character that can play him. I'm sorry. I'm gonna be super mad about Doctor Who if they tried to recast Captain Jack. I know all the controversy and everything that went around John Barrowman and the things that he did, but I'm sorry, you cannot replace this character. So I'm really hoping that he is just another time agent. I would be fine with that because he's very time agency like esque core. So yeah, I wouldn't mind if he's another time agent. Maybe he even knows Jack. But if he replaces Jack, I am going to be angry. Like, you cannot give a character their whole entire spin-off show called Torchwood, and he's the main character, and it runs for about, what, I think like 5 seasons? You cannot replace a character like that. He has such an impact on the show itself, and you cannot replace an actor like that. I'm sorry. Like, he means too much for the show. Captain Jack cannot be replaced. I'm sorry. So if you want to do anything with Captain Jack, bring John Barrowman back or don't have him back at all. Like, I would rather not have him at all than replace him. Like, yeah, no. You cannot replace John Barrowman. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. But anyways, moving on to episode 7. Okay, episode 7, The Legend of Ruby Sunday. I went through all the trailers. I think there was like 3 different trailers that they released. I could not find any evidence of this episode being in any of the trailers. Like, all the shots in the trailers, like, I don't think they had anything to do with this episode. So what I'm thinking that happens in this episode, just going off the name of it, is that we're gonna find some background info on Ruby. Like, where'd she come from? Maybe she finds her parents or gets like some sort of lead on who her parents are or what is she. Because I did see a theory that Ruby is a space baby from this first episode. So maybe she is a space baby and she got like dropped off on Earth at this orphanage and she grew up and it's been like that. Or she has something special with her. I mean, she is the companion, and Doctor Who likes to make the companion something special. So I'm pretty sure they're gonna do something with Ruby Sunday, and she's gonna be some sort of, I don't know. And again with this, since she's an orphan, and we found out with the whole Timeless Children thing, that the Doctor is an orphan of a sort too. So maybe like the Doctor will find something about himself too. Like maybe Ruby and the Doctor can bond over being orphans and not having anyone to grow up with. I don't know. But other than that, I really don't know what this episode's gonna be. Okay, moving on to number 8, the last episode. Ooh. Okay, episode 8, The Empire of Death. That is a very interesting title. It's very ominous. And why is the TARDIS growling? I don't like that. But anyways, this is the final episode of the season. And we know that Ruby's in the 2nd season, so we don't have to worry about her yet. We don't have to worry about just yet. But, yeah, I think that this episode is going to be a really big episode. I mean, it is the finale, so of course it's going to be big. But we see clips of the unit headquarters, and we get to see Rose again. Yay! I can't wait to see Rose again. I hope she has like a bigger part to play, because that's a thing that I didn't really like about the 60th anniversary, is that we were introduced to Rose, Donna Noble's daughter, and she really didn't have a lot to do in the specials. So I'm really hoping that she gets more screen time and we get more time with her. And plus, we also get to see Kate. I can't wait to see Kate again. I love everything about Kate. Like, she is the perfect MILF of Doctor Who. But yeah, I think she's like the longest running returning character too. Like, I think her first episode was like in 2011 or something. Yeah, she's been on the show for a long time now. So yeah, she's like a character, like, you cannot get rid of her. Like, she's like one constant in the show all the time. So yeah, I can't wait to see Kate again. But in the trailers, we see like there's like this big catastrophic Earth thing happening, and Unit or Kate probably calls in the Doctor to like figure stuff out, and that's where the episode takes us. I don't know how true this is or not, but we have, I think it's called the Triad or something. They mentioned it in the 60th anniversary, and then in one of the 13th Doctor episodes too, I think. But they're called the Triad, and I think it's like a tech company. So maybe they're trying to do that, and that's gonna be like the big series baddie of like the whole season. Like, I have this theory that they're gonna do like the bad wolf thing like they did in season 1 with Rose, and there's gonna be an anagram hidden in every episode, like leading up to like this big triad baddie at the end of the season. So yeah, I really hope that they do something like that, just to like to leave little Easter eggs. I love when Doctor Who leaves Easter eggs in their episodes, and then you're like, oh my god, it all comes together, and it's like, oh my god. So yeah, I really hope that they do something like that. Another clip I want to talk about, I think that it's in this episode, but it really could be in any episode. But we have the Doctor sitting down with Ruby's adoptive mother, and she's like telling like the Doctor, like, is she safe? Like, is traveling with you safe? Which we all know the answer, but is he gonna say that? I don't know. But we do get this clip right here.
You'll keep us safe? I will keep us safe.
And yeah, so like, we all know that traveling with the Doctor is very dangerous, and pretty much every companion that travels with the Doctor, they usually have a really bad ending for them or their family. So yeah, that's the thing with Doctor Who, is that you get attached to the companions, because the companion is a way to like step into the show. Like, you are the companion, you can relate to whoever the companion is, and you're seeing it through their eyes. So when something happens to the companion, it really hurts. And Russell T Davies is writing again, and I just have to remind you, he's the one who separated Rose in the parallel universe. He's the one who tore Donna's mind from her. And I mean, Donna really didn't have a lot of trauma, but she still had a lot of trauma. She got like scarred for life for traveling with the Doctor. But yeah, yeah, Ruby's gonna have it rough. I'm just telling you that now. So yeah. But okay, that's it for this episode. I'm planning on, like, once Doctor Who starts airing on Disney Plus, I'm gonna try to make a weekly video after each episode to like go over like everything that happens in that episode, and then I'm always gonna go back to this episode and like see how right or wrong I was about each episode. So yeah, it's gonna be fun. I'm gonna try to keep up with it, but I am gonna do it. I don't know if it's gonna be up every week after the episode, but I am gonna do it eventually. But yeah, so look out for that. But anyways, if you like this video, please leave a like. And if you have any theories of your own, please put them in the comments. Or if you just want to talk to me in the comments, go right ahead. I'm always looking for connections and talking to other Whovians about Doctor Who. But anyways, thanks for watching. And okay, bye-bye.